Right, on with my next video, and this is spurred me on from some discussion basically that they had on this morning, and it was all to do with obese nurses. Basically, they're saying that is it right that nurses can be overweight? And I think it's an interesting one for me because there were two nurses on there, and there wasn't really nurses that were bickering with each other. I was expecting to have one nurse and another nurse where they both got their own issues about one thinking it's right and one thinking it's wrong, but they didn't really have that. But they were basically saying that almost 1 in 4 nurses now are actually overweight. Now, you think it's quite daft because you think that we try and lose weight. There's a lot of people who want to try and lose. Sorry about that, I've got hiccups and that. Oh, God. Anyway, yeah, so basically there are people who are trying to lose weight and there are people who are overweight. And basically, when you go to the doctors or the hospital, you do expect that you would be seeing somebody who can be a moral support for you, or give you the moral support by basically saying, you need to lose weight, and we want to be there and hope that we can push you into that direction of you losing weight. Yet, you could be going to the hospital or the doctors and finding that it's the person who's overweight who is basically telling you that. So, it's kind of interesting to think about that, to think that there are 1 in 4 nurses that basically work for the NHS who are basically overweight. Is that a bad thing? Well, I don't know, because to be quite fair, it shouldn't really matter what the person is basically in terms of whether they're overweight or not. I know a lot of people say it is daft, because I'll say if they're overweight, then really they need to do something about their weight and not just tell the patients who they see that they have to do something about their weight, when really it's a two-way thing. But basically, one of the nurses was on this morning. She said basically, I lost some weight because I felt I wanted to lose weight for myself and I felt it was needed. You know, I didn't want to be this overweight nurse. She's been in the job about a year. The other nurse has been in it for about 20 years. So you can sort of you can give the longer the people have been in, whatever. It's all about that. And they were talking about basically that. And I just think that it shouldn't really matter whether they're overweight or not, the nurses. I suppose it might be a little bit strange if you can imagine what it'd be like if you see a nurse who's really, really overweight and think, whoa, hang on a minute. You're a nurse and you're really, really overweight. Why are you? But I suppose you get the ones where they're basically just a little bit overweight, you know. They don't have to be technically totally skinny. I'm just saying that it's an interesting one to think that you're going to get some nurses that are a little bit overweight and should they be doing something for that? I'm not tackling anything, but I think what it is, as it was said on this morning, it's partly because sometimes the reason why some nurses are overweight, and this is it, because they don't always get a lot of time to themselves to have healthy, balanced diets, things like that. That's one of the reasons why sometimes it becomes like that, because they're on their feet all the time. Now, I can understand you can go walking, you can do a lot of miles walking when you're out on the job or whatever else, and that can keep you fit, but it's the fact that they're not sitting down all the time to have a good, healthy, balanced diet of lunch or anything like that, and it's having snacks on the go. Now, I know there's a lot of people who can say you can have snacks and you can eat almost a lot of snacks, like you can have an apple. You could be walking around and eating an apple. Fair enough, I understand there's a lot of that out there, but it's a case of not everybody, it's not always right to think that you have to be in this sort of job where you could be working 12 hours straight, you don't hardly get any breaks or anything, and yet you're going to be eating just an apple because that will be something you'll be walking around eating while you're going around the wards for whatever reason, wherever you might well be, rather than actually going out and having that 20-minute, 30-minute break where you are having a healthy, balanced meal of lunch. And I'm not quite sure how it works, but I think there might be times when they say it's not always that healthy just to eat apples and just to eat fruit or anything on the go like that. You know, it's like buying, say, a snack bar which is healthy. You know, you can quite easily say buy one of them that you could eat. You could do, or it's like having healthy crackers and eating them, or healthy nuts and eating them on the go. They're great to have, as well as apples and things, but it's still a case of, but are they really the right thing to always be eating all the time when you're on the go? Just because you're eating them on the go doesn't mean to say that it's always going to be the healthy option that you're having. I suppose in one way, you've got to think about the fact that if you have time to sit down and have a rest and all that, then you can you can have healthy, balanced diets. You can buy maybe or have a bag of crisps. You can eat a sandwich. You can have yogurt. That could be your dinner. You can have a drink. Or if you was having a meal, you can go to the canteen and have a meal. That could be a nice salad or a pasta dish or something that's sort of healthy. But I always think with health, and not only with nurses but with all things, is that it's not about what you eat. It's about having a healthy, balanced diet. No one says that you have to cut out all the fat from food, when really it's a good thing to be taught a healthy, balanced diet. So there's no reason why somebody can't turn around and say you can't have chips anymore because they're not healthy enough. You can have chips. You can eat them. You just shouldn't really be having them all the time. And it's always a case that you don't have them all the time, and you do have other things. Like I don't eat chips as much as I used to. I was forever eating chips. I was always one of these. They're my favourite food. But I used to be one of these where I'd have chips on Monday and Wednesday, and then I'd eat them again on Friday, and I'd have them on Saturday, and I'd have them on Sunday. Now, I probably sometimes only eat them twice or three times a week. I know it's still a lot for a lot of people, but I don't eat them as much as I used to, because sometimes I do eat other food now. I'm pretty much loving things like tomato soup, and I love having mashed potatoes instead of chips. And I do tend to go off on that sometimes, you know. I do usually have chips on a Monday, and I sometimes eat them on a Wednesday, but sometimes other days of the week, I don't specifically always have chips. So it used to always be like on a Friday, I'd always have chips, and I don't sometimes now, because sometimes I'm looking at something else to have that's not chips. But anyway, just thought I'd talk a little bit about about that, and I'll leave it there because I've got another blog to do after this, and then I'll get these uploaded as and when. But until then, bye for now.